everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do my December update on the Pan Those Eyeshadows palette Roulette series that I do. I do a different thing to most people that I've seen on YouTube. I've realized I switch them out every single month. I mean, I know the goal is to pan them, but I also just want to use my makeup. So I want to just go through all the different eyeshadows that I have, and that's why I roll them out every month. So you might not see as much progress as you see in maybe some other panners, but I just like this project. I love watching these videos, and I thought I'd participate, but in the way that I participate and the way that makes me feel happy. So hopefully this is still entertaining. So I have 5 shades that I need to update you on. The first one is the Bobbi Brown single eyeshadow. This is Heat Ray. This is this lovely copper orangey shimmery gorgeous color, and I really didn't know how to use this. Let me just put it up here. Hopefully we'll have a picture so you can see, but I feel like there is some progress. I mean, I feel like the dome is sort of flatter a little bit. It's really hard with this, but it definitely looks like I've worked on it, and I found it hard to figure out what I was going to do with it. And then a subscriber of mine commented, and her name is Monica, so shout out to Monica, but she mentioned that it could probably be used as a blush. So I thought that was a really good idea, and I started using it as a blush and I loved it. So I ended up using it more times than any other eyeshadow that I have in the project right now, because I just loved it as a blush. I actually have it on right now as a blush. So I used it 8 times, which is not a huge amount, but before I started using it as a blush, I literally only used it maybe once, and it sort of was forgotten about. And then I saw that comment and I tested it out, and then I've been loving it ever since. I think I will actually continue using it as a blush every now and then. I just think it's really lovely. I don't have a blush like that, and I just thought it was a great idea. So definitely thank you so much for suggesting that. Any other suggestions that anyone has on how to use eyeshadows, I really appreciate it, but I really like that. The next shade that I had, actually I have 2 shades in the NARS Afterglow palette, so I'll just go through them right now. I have to say the 2 shades that were picked in this palette are probably the 2 shades that I like the least out of the palette, so I didn't do as well as I thought I would. The first one is this one, which is called Crushed, and then this one is Mad Love. So those were the 2 other shades that I picked at random, and Crushed I only used 2 times, and Mad Love I actually ended up using more than I thought. I used it 5 times. But I really found them boring. I mean, out of this palette, I love the shimmers. I love this side of the palette, and here these 2 and these 2. Sorry, there is a motorcycle outside if you can hear that. Anyway, so yeah, out of the whole palette, I really don't care for these 2. I find this one, is something to use that's helpful. And yeah, and the browns I generally go to, but I really just hate these 2. Next eyeshadow that I had last month is from the e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. This is the shade Fortuna here, and I really love this shade. I just didn't feel as I don't know, I didn't really go for it too much this month, I have to say. There is a little bit of a dip. However, I feel like I had a little bit of a dip last month. I've used this only 4 times this month, and just just on my lid, nothing special. I don't even know if I have any photos that I've taken this last month. I mean, because I didn't find a lot of inspiration from the shades that I had, to be honest. The only one that I really enjoyed was the Heat Ray one that I used on my cheeks. I really like this. I think it's really beautiful. For me, it just seems, I don't know, it just reminds me more of the summer than it does of November time. I just didn't feel the need to reach for it as much, and that kind of made me sad, but oh well. Last shade that I had is from the LA Dreams from Makeup Revolution. This is the Makeup Obsession range that they have, and the shade is Rollerblade here. So I do feel like there is more of a dip in this shade from last month. However, I only used it 7 times. It was the second most used eyeshadow. And I was really excited to use this because obviously it's cool toned and I'm really interested in more cool tones at the moment. So I really quite liked it. I thought it was good and it was pretty. I've said this before and I'll say it again, I don't think the formula is all that great on this palette, but I do like the colour story. So that's my update for the month. And now I'm just going to roll in 5 new shades from my makeup collection. I of course include eyeshadow singles, but I don't have a lot of singles at all. And also there's 2 eyeshadow singles that I'm using in my project pan, which obviously if they're picked in my pan as eyeshadows, I just don't want to have them twice. So if they're picked, then I'll just roll again and see what I get. I do want to say I got a new eyeshadow palette this month. My mother purchased this from Spain just for me to test out. It's just from a drugstore in Spain. It's really cheap and affordable. It's called the New Roses and it looks like this. It's not that great, I have to say. I mean, this is a really nice matte shade, but the rest of the shades were really hard to work with. I did do a look on it. The look came out actually really quite nice. I was really pleased with it, but I do find these shades to be quite hard to work with. So if it's picked, obviously I will do my best. But yeah, I'm just gonna roll this in. I've already added it to my sheet. So I have 148 shades that I could pick. However, if a shade is picked from last month, I will roll again because I don't want to use the same shade twice. Also, if I have 2 very similar shades, I am going to let myself roll again. I'm just going to see how it goes. Last month I probably should have done that because I had the Heat Ray one and Fortuna and they were very similar, and I think that's the reason why I struggled with the Heat Ray, and then obviously I started using it as a blush that actually worked out in my favor. However, if I get like 2 pink mattes and they're the same sort of pink, I'm just going to roll one of them again because it doesn't make sense. So I'm doing 1 out of 148, and so the first number is going to be 129. So 129 is from my Yasmin palette from My Alley Beauty. I'm actually really quite happy that this was picked. And so the shade that was picked is Cardinal, which is this love. I have to be careful because this is all broken, but the shade that was picked is Cardinal here. So it's this lovely orange shade, and I actually just recently used this for my Miami Dolphins look, but it's this lovely matte orange. Next shade to roll in, 142. So that's from this new palette that I just rolled in. So that's the second shade, which is this. This is a shimmery pink, very powdery shimmer. And it's like that. I don't know if you can see it, you can barely see it, but that's the second shade. There are no names for them, just numbers. Next one is 135. So that's also from the Yasmin palette, gosh. And that is the shade Adilla. That is this lovely green shimmer here. Wow, that is very pretty. I love that. Okay, next up, 99. So that's from my Colourpop Miss Bliss palette. It's the shade Optimist. It's another matte orange. This one is extremely powdery. I've actually not played with that. So, oh, actually that's a lot more coral than the other orange. I'm going to pick the next one, but I might end up rolling this one or this one out because they're both sort of similar, even though this one is a lot more coral. I don't know, 2 matte oranges, do I need them? All right, let's see what the last one is and then I might roll again. 101. So 101 is the first shade from the Jackie Aina palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and that is Soleil. And I've actually never used this one, so I'm actually quite excited about it. Interesting. Do I roll again? I think I should roll again, right? You know, because I've already got the Yasmin palette out with for the green, I'm gonna roll this first one out, to be honest, because then I'll give Miss Bliss another go and I can use it. So I'm going to just see what the next one is. 76. So that's my LA Jeans palette, and this is in the shade LAX, which is this deep green shade. and this is going to go here. So I'm either going to have 2 greens or 2 oranges. What should I do? I feel like because this is a shimmer and this is a matte, I should definitely keep that and roll this one out. So I'm going to do that. So there you have it, 5 palettes, 5 different shades. That is really, really exciting to me. It's going to give me a chance to actually work on some of these palettes that I haven't really worked on too much, especially the My Alley palette, and also this new one, and my Jackie Aina, because I just don't really go for it because I love it so much, so it's like too precious for me to work on. But I'm excited for that. Colourpop I've had in the project before, but I had a pink shade that I wasn't too interested in, but I think the coral shade that was picked was pretty good. And I've never tried this green shade, I don't think, and I think it will work really well with the green in the My Alley palette. So I'm excited. I'm going to do a one look with this. I usually do a separate video with that, so if you're interested in that, just stay tuned. If you've got any ideas within the colour story of what I could do, that would be great. And they don't seem to be very fall-like, but there are obviously some greens in there which I can work with. The orange is sort of throwing me off. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned on my updates, and I think possibly in 2021 I'm going to change up how I do the panning series. I might do the pan those eyeshadows the way that it's properly done, where you pan it until you actually hit pan and then you change it out. I might do that, we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully you are safe and well, and I will see you next time. Bye!